start recording this so that I can upload it in better quality later on. Yeah, fibre is vital, and I was given the choice: get fibre or lose broadband altogether. Yeah, I'm really sorry about this. Thread spool holders. The thread spool holders. Oh, Uphaven fly fishing, Brian. Sorry, I didn't know what you're talking about there for a second. Right, let's have a quick look at question number 2. So, question number 2, again, I'm going to have to expand this because my old eyes can't see it. McFly, last summer, as most years, I spend my time wild camping and fly fishing in Swedish Lapland. Arjlog, to be precise. Last year was very, very hot. It was here as well. And let's see. And the usual heat wave was vital. Oh, let me just bring this up. I can't see it. Last year, that normal heat wave. There was virtually no fly life. Very few of the normal abundant caddis, and none of the less abundant mayfly. It's sad to hear that, my fly, but sadly, it's a bit like that at the minute. I think fly life has decreased severely over the last few years. I don't know what it is that's causing that, but it's certainly not a good thing. So you want alternatives. Now I'm just going to see if I can try and improve this stream. Let's see. But it is frustrating when you're watching a video and the stream isn't right. Yeah, there's not much I can do about it, to be fair. Yeah, and I can see it glitching really bad. So I'm sorry about that, folks, but I'll just keep going, and hopefully the recording that I've just started I'll upload later on for people to get it. So, alternatives. Now, if you're a dry or die sort of guy, then I'm afraid there's only a couple of things you can do. Big stimulator type flies, they'll always bring some action. Even if trout aren't looking at them as food items, it will annoy them and they'll hit it. But yeah, big stimulators. If you're prepared to do other things, you've always got bugging. That's super effective. You've got to remember, fish live underwater, and the majority of their food lives underwater, so you're going to catch a lot of fish if you just go to bugging. The other thing you can do, of course, is little streamers. I like to use sort of size 10, size 12 jig streamers, and they can be super effective when nothing else is happening, or if you've been through a pool and nothing's risen to your dry fly, it's always worth sticking a streamer through it. I'm sorry I can't give you a better answer than that, but that's the only answer I've got, I'm afraid. I'm a bit disjointed this evening, folks, so I'm flipping between screens, so bear with me. Let's have a look at the next prepared question. And Steve Parton used to tie the Tulus wigglers, which were a great fly for fishing, from a float tube on a sinking line. I've tried several times to replicate his flies, but never been able to cut the foam head at the correct angle. Any assistance appreciated. Thanks for that question, Garth, and the honest answer is I have no idea what that fly is. I've never heard of it. I did try and look it up online to see if I could get a picture of the fly, just to see if I can describe how it's been done, but unfortunately there was no pictures online. But we've got a huge community of fly anglers here, and perhaps they will know, and somebody in the chat might well be able to explain how to do that better. If I've seen a picture, I would probably be able to tell you how to do it. And I'm just going to go through the chat again. James, I'll be at the show, I think, this year. Hi, Torb. Nice you've joined in. Where do you recommend to stay in Slovenia, Lindsay? Rob, that's a great question. I love Slovenia and I've stayed on both sides of the country, and I think it depends on what you want to do, what rivers you want to fish, but my favourite personally is Bled, and if you're going with family that don't fly fish, then there's a lot of things to do in Bled that will keep them occupied and keep them off your case while you're on the river. You've got the Sava just next to Bled. It's absolutely stunning, great fishing. But of course, when people think of Slovenia, they think of the Socha and the Idrica, and that's on the other side of the country. It doesn't take that long to drive. So if you are with family and you want to make 1 or 2 day trips, you can drive there in a couple of hours. It doesn't take long at all. It's a very small country, but I would recommend Bled personally. There's a lot to do. There's plenty of places to eat in the evening, and it's just a great town and absolutely beautiful. I hope that answers your question a bit. There's no danger I'm getting to tie flies, is there? I just need to do it tomorrow night. Okay, where are we now? Audio is spot on full. Well, thank goodness for small mercies, Errol. The audio is working. Get the glasses on, Lindsay. I've got them here, but I can't. If I put the glasses on for the chat, I can't see them because my eyes can see fine like that. It's when I'm tying the flies that I have trouble. But there we go. Hope all is well. Gary, other than the video being a wee bit glitchy, which is annoying me, everything's hunky-dory, pal. Let me see. It keeps coming up with a warning message saying that the stream is not good. So it's been dodgy actually ever since about 6 months. And the sad thing is, me and my wife work from home, and it's an absolute nightmare if you work from home and your broadband's not good. So we are struggling a bit. These are sadly fewer birds due to fewer insects. Can only be pollution and insecticides. Rob, I'm not quite sure what the answer is. I think in this country I know there's a huge problem. I live in the south of England and the chalk streams are absolutely being polluted, just openly polluted. So the water companies are coming, they're dumping raw sewage into the rivers, and it's very little surprise to me that the insect life's gone down. I work into my local club. I'm a bailiff in my local club, and every year they do an insect count, and it's not good news, sadly. So yeah, not great. Did you know last year rivers in central Finland reached 29 degrees centigrade in the heat wave? Everything in the rivers died and a nationwide ban was in place. Wow, I didn't know that, my fly. That's pretty shocking. I'm sorry to hear that. It must have ruined your sport. But you know, the rivers, they don't recover overnight for these kind of things. They take a while to recover from something like that. I don't think we quite hit those temperatures, but it was pretty bad. Hi Nigel, we had a good midge hatch in Derbyshire early on. First time in years, windscreen was plastered. Mayfly hatch also came early, many missed it. Yeah, in recent years I've found that the mayfly hatch has become later and later in the year, so it's well into June that the mayflies started to come, certainly in the south of England, but it's hard to predict nowadays. I think climate, anyone that denies climate change is off their head. We're obviously having climate change. It's unbelievable. I recall fishing at Rutland in April and having every single bit of clothing I owned on my back. It was that cold. And in recent years, you're wearing a shirt sometimes or a thin jacket. It's unbelievable. So I think when I say climate change, I think that the seasons are shifting slightly to the right. You know, everything's taking a little longer. Even you just got to look at 2025. We were having summer days and late into September. It was amazing. But yeah, and I suppose the hatches are going to change in that regard. By the lake, didn't realise the river is so close. Was driving back from Dubrovnik. Ah, okay, yeah. Driving back from Dubrovnik. That's some distance, Rob. I hope you were in a comfy car. Get yourself a prescription vice. I can't afford a prescription vice. I've got what I've got. Fishing in Sochi River is not recommended anymore. Marble trout are all but gone, and it's being stocked with rainbows. Well, I was there, when was I there? Was it last year or the year before? I think I was there the year before last, my fly, and the fishing was good. I really enjoyed it. I mean, there's certain places you can go to fish for marble trout where they've actually stocked marble trout, which is not ideal, but we did do a bit of fishing further upstream and it was better. But I love Slovenia. I think I've been about 10 times now and I hope to get back sometime very soon. James, how are you? We had some great yellow mayhatches on the Wye this year. Think I am right, it's the only river with them. I think Nigel would probably confirm that for you, James. He's the expert on the Wye. Paul, I agree, mayfly will soon be Junefly. Yep, I think it's been like that for a long time. Earl, which streaming software are you on, Lindsay? I do a lot of DJ streaming. Give me a shout if you can't suss it out with the new fibre. I've done, Earl, that's very kind, thanks, and I may well take you up on your offer. So I'm using OBS, and it used to be that I would log into OBS and it would connect to my my YouTube account, and I would be able to see the chat, but sadly that's not the case this evening. It's not syncing the chat, so I've got to come out of OBS to come onto the YouTube live studio, and I'm doing it that way, so it's not ideal. But I'm hoping that the fibre connection's gonna cure all that. But I really appreciate it, Earl, and if you want to drop me a PM on Facebook or Instagram even, I'd be grateful to have any help, really. It's difficult. Well, you know, if you stream, you know, and you're trying to do a number of different things. Time flies. You're controlling all the different camera angles, sound. It's all a pain in the arse, and when you're getting near 60-year-old, it's starting to become really hard work. But I'm going to persevere with it because I think people really enjoy the live videos. And it's just a shame it's not working like it should work. I'll get there. I'm not one to be easily defeated by technology. If I've got to do a little bit of studying to improve this, then that's what I'll do until I get it right. Rob, I see it here in the mountains. The snow is not secured anymore. Oh, don't say that. My next door neighbours are going skiing soon, and they'll be hoping that the snow is well packed. That's a shame. My fly, I did still catch one good brownie in Lapland, 2.2 kilo. That's a good fish. I was having a great day until Dave returned with a wild 7 kilo wild brownie caught on a rapala. Yeah, but they don't count if you catch them on rapalas, mate. They only count if you catch them on the fly. So you've got the moral victory, my fly. Logan Walton. Seasons definitely shifted. still getting fish on grunters in my club water in the northeast of Scotland. It's funny you should say that. I watched Steve Cullen done a video on his little lake over the Christmas holidays, and he was catching fish on dries, which is flabbergasting really when you think about it. But now we're into January, there's a real cold snap on, and I doubt you'll be getting many flies on the dry. Hello from Edinburgh. I'm coming up to Edinburgh very soon. I'm coming up with some friends and we're going to do the Edinburgh tourist thing. So I'm looking forward to that. A few whiskey bars up there I wouldn't mind visiting. Chrissy, have not seen a good hatch on the Clyde for years. It's a real shame, isn't it? I mean, to be fair, I've not really seen great hatches on the rivers in this country. Slovenia, I've seen biblical hatches, and I was in Bosnia last year, and the hatches in the evening are just unbelievable, and the fish responded to them so well. I had such great fun fishing downstream dry flies for grayling, just outstanding. But I don't know, these rivers that I visit in Slovenia and Bosnia, they're out in the sticks. There's not any roads. There's no pollution. There's certainly not water companies dumping raw sewage into the rivers, for sure, you know. So they're still doing very well with their hatches, and their fly hatches are going great guns. Stardusted, cheers, fellow Lindsay Simpson fans. Earl, gotcha, thanks. I shall, bud. That's great. Thanks, Earl. Appreciate that. Nigel. Also good hatch of yellow mats. Yellow mats? You got magic carpets up there? Maize, I expect, on the wharf. The late Oliver Edwards tied both a nymph and a dry fly. Oliver Edwards was a superb tyer. Some of his flies were absolutely fantastic, and I really liked his philosophy is give the fish something that looks like what they're eating, and he did that in spades. He was a great tyer. Sadly, I never got to meet Oliver Edwards, but I did watch all his DVDs. '64, Earl. Well, I'm turning 60 this year, so can't say I'm looking forward to it, if I'm honest, but everything's starting to creak now, especially my body, but my mind's still pretty sharp, so hopefully I'll be able to get my head round this and get it sorted out. So Mike Shaw, it was a massive error taking the power of the Environment Agency from being able to legally censure water companies and other entities who have ruined our rivers. So I don't want to go down the wormhole of this, Mick, because it just makes me angry, if I'm honest. But the problem with what we have now is the water companies simply see it as a running cost. So they know they're going to get fined by the government. They pay that money and they just see it as a running cost, and that's that. Until people start going to jail, which is what should happen, nothing's going to change. And I think, you know, you start sticking the CEOs of these companies in prison, things will change. But until then, I think we've got what we've got. And do I think this government's the one to do it? No. My fly, have you ever done a line, ein fly? Oh, I think you mean one fly challenge. One fly for the whole day. If yes, what fly did you choose and why, or what would it be? So, my fly, I did do one, and it was just this monstrosity that I tied up on the video. I think it was on a live stream actually. I tied up this monstrosity of a fly. It was, oh God, it was bloody awful. And I went to Albury Estates, to Western Lakes, and it was January, but the trouble was I wanted the fly to sink, but I tied it so bushy I couldn't get the fly to drop. So it was one fly line, and I think I failed to catch. I gave myself 1 hour to catch a fish with it, and I failed. Now, if I was going to pick one fly out my box to go and do a one fly challenge, and my mortgage depended on it, it would be a pink snake. and I'd be very surprised if I failed that challenge, to be honest. In fact, that might be a good idea for a winter video. I'll get myself a wee pink snake, get up to Albury and do a one fly challenge. It was quite good fun. But currently, when I did that one fly challenge, I was in good physical shape, well, kind of, but as good as you get at this age. But at the moment, I've got a meniscus tear in my left knee, and I'm waiting on an orthopaedic consultancy to try, and it's been bothering me for a couple of years now, but it's come to a head where I've got to get it addressed, because I'm not able to go and fish. I've had invites up to the Welsh Y, and I've not been able to take them up because the wading up there can be fairly dodgy, and if I go over on my knee, I just only make the situation worse. The chalk streams are okay because it's posh fishing, you know, it's posh. I hope that's answered your question there, my fly. There's some waking big carp in Lake Bled to Alan Blair from Kevin Nash. Has some excellent videos on it. I'll need to. I don't really look at Adam. I'm not a fan of coarse fishing. I don't mind it, you know. If you want to go and do coarse fishing, that's great. But it's kind of not for me. I've just always fly fished. I've tried coarse fishing a couple of times. I didn't particularly enjoy it. I think what I enjoy about fly fishing is there's none. You're not handling maggots or meal or feed. I just enjoy it. It's, you know, that's just me. But I will check out the carp, because you can't catch carp on the fly. It's not easy, but it can be done. Gary, how are you? Nice to see you. I hope the weather in Canada is not too cold. Bosnia is an amazing place to fish. The Pliva, the Sana, the Ribnik, fished it in 2016. I would like to go back there, Gary, and fish more of the rivers. So I fished the Pliva, I believe, or was it? No, apologies. I fished the Ribnik last year. Made a video about it. Still can't remember the name. There we go. Yeah, definitely a place that I'll be returning to. Superb, great fishing, and the hospitality was very good as well, I might add. Press send before I finish. Okay. No worries, Adam. Rob, come to Austria, make a video in the mountain streams, some pristine places, and it's not expensive or far. Rob, I would love to come to Austria, and it definitely is on my hit list. It's somewhere I want to visit, and the dream, if you like, this September I'm hoping to retire and move into full-time content creation. If I can make that happen, then Austria will definitely be on the cards in 2027, and it will be a kind of a road trip, if you like. I'll be driving across from the UK through Europe, and Austria will be a stop. Czech Republic, Slovenia, Slovakia. I would love to do that. It's like a dream, actually. It's my retirement dream. So yeah, that's maybe something I could do. If you're from Austria, could be a good place. I could get a shower. Paul, I have to go and collect the wife from the station. Thanks so much for taking the time this evening. Coffee later. Cheers, Paul. You're very welcome, pal. Gav's Drams, if you are free when in Edinburgh, I will take you to my club water, Hairlaw or Hairlaw. I don't think I'll be free, Gav. I'm with my wife and a couple of friends, so I don't think I'll get a leave pass to go fishing, I'm afraid. I might get a leave pass to take them all to a whisky club and have a few drams though, so we'll see how we get on. Mike Shaw, I probably will knock on Jock Kettle's door while in Edinburgh for a wee dram. Mike, as I say, I'm not so sure. It will just depend. Jock's got a job, his wife works, so they might not appreciate me wrapping the door up with a bunch of my pals looking for a good time midweek. So maybe not, but we'll see. I'll see Jock the month after when we head up for our Orkney adventure this year, which I'm really looking forward to. James, wee pink snake, great fun to tie as well. I was going to tie a few, to be honest with you, James, because I've got a wee competition at the weekend at Farmore. Well, it's not wee actually, it's a huge competition. I think they've got about 100 anglers around Farmore 1. Should be really good. I'll know a lot of the boys that are turning up, and I'm really looking forward to it. My fly. Would I be right in saying the days of a bag full of different fly lines, heavy sink intermediates, seems today that everyone uses a floating line with various types of leader? Would I be right? Not for me, my fly. I have a variety of different sinking lines. I have a load of different sinking tips as well, all manufactured lines. And do I use them all? Not all the time, but every now and again one will sneak out the box that I think this is just what I need. It's all about finding the depth of fish. So you can't quite do that with a floating line and a poly leader that goes on the end that will either give you a fast sinking, medium sinking, or a floating poly leader. It's not the same, and certainly all the different variables in regards to fly lines I'm still on board with. Only counts on the fly, correct, Rob? Logan, I still carry a sinking, a midge tip, intermediate, and 2 different floaters, just depending on what the water I'm fishing. Yeah, I agree. It's I think you're missing out if you've not got at least that. It's 0 degrees today. Christ, it's summer. It's summer, Gary. Minus 24 and minus 29. I've not seen temperatures like that since I was in Canada, actually. But I think it got pretty cold. I was in Berlin for a couple of years and it got pretty cold there. But yeah, I don't envy you that. Fly time weather for sure. My fly. I'm going to the Spanish Pyrenees in spring for a trophy fish. Can't wait. Well, I wish you the very best of luck, and I wish I was coming with you. I did have a chance to fish the Pyrenees once, and we actually, as I recall, the group of friends I was going with, we paid a deposit to go and do that, and then for some reason I think we just couldn't make the dates work and we had to give up our deposit, and I didn't get to go in the end, but maybe one day. Valmask, my old cheap net is falling to bits. Do you have any recommendations for one with a big long handle? Bad back, don't want to bend down too much. I know exactly how you feel, pal. If you do mostly bank fishing, I would recommend the Witchwood Bankman net. It's the one that you'll have seen me use in videos. It's got a spike in the end that you can put into the grass, and the head can tilt so that you can use it as a line tray. I think it's a brilliant bit of kit. If you're fishing from a boat, then the Witchwood Boatman net's very good as well. But either of them 2 nets are really good. And I have nothing to do with Witchwood anymore, but their nets are top drawer. Rob Green, I'll buy you a beer in Munich. That's really kind, Rob. When are we catching the plane? This is actually Trapper's Monk beer. It's delicious. My wife got me a crate of this for Christmas. I've only got 4 bottles left, but I'm saving. I thought tonight would be a nice time to enjoy a bottle. Perhaps I should have had a couple of bottles before I came on here and calm my nerves. Yeah, I know all about the wind chill in Canada. Try to think of the Battis. Medicine Hat. I spent a couple of months there and the wind chill was absolutely ridiculous, and that was in September, so I can only imagine what it's like in January. Heather Tramper. Angus Angling in Forfar set me up with a midge tip set up this year, and I don't think I'd use much else these days. Well, that's great. You know, if you can get by with really limited kit, it's a good thing in a couple of ways. When you're on the water, you're not scratching your head thinking, have I made the wrong decision here? Should I change? Because you've only got the one line, and a midge tip's a great line. What one did they give you? I like the real midge tip, but Airflow also do a couple of slow and fast tips that I really like, and they do them in various lengths, which works really well for different fishing scenarios. Jordan Scott, I'm trying to get through this so I can get finished, and you keep asking more questions. Yeah, cheeky buggers. Here we go. Jordan Scott, evening mate. Have you been out for the grayling at all? I've managed a couple of trips, 3 actually. I think I've done 3 trips for the grayling this year. Obviously done quite a bit more. Oh, 4, 5 trips. So usually when the Grayling Classic's on, I get a couple of days on the River Test, but the weather was shocking. I was pretty ill, and even actually right up to the point of the competition, I think I was in my bed every night at 8 o'clock. I was so ill, it was unbelievable. But after that, I did manage to get another few days on the grayling. I've had some good grayling this year. It's certainly not been a year for huge fish, for me anyway. I haven't caught massive fish. In years gone by, I can recall fish of well over 40 centimetres to my net. I might have managed maybe 2 or 3 this year, in this grayling season, not this year. I mean, in January I've not been. In fact, I don't think I've been fishing this year yet. I'm hoping to get out soon. Well, I'm definitely getting out on Saturday. But yeah. Barry, in winter I fish DI3 line, any snake pattern. I've heard Argentina's great fishing. Yeah, you'll not go far wrong with a DI3 than a snake, I don't think. You can retrieve even faster with a DI3, which I think is really effective. Contrary to what you'll hear a lot of people saying this time of year you've got to slow it right down and take your time, but you put a DI3 on a snake and you whirly gig it past them with a roly-poly, and you're going to get some sport without doubt. Argentina, I've heard it is very good, but very expensive. Very expensive. It's quite far down my list of dream places, I've got to say. I have got a list. My wife's not seen it. She's not getting to see it. Spanish Pyrenees, best kept secret in fly fishing. Oh, okay. That's good to know. That's above Argentina on my hit list. Gav's Dram, you're the chairman of the Edinburgh Whisky Club. You need to email me or message me so we can meet up. I do like a dram. Rob Green, my fly, is there barbo fishing there? Yeah, good guy to ask. James Batham, I've had great experience with Angus Angling in Forfar. Their online shop has the most varied stock selection I've seen. I've not been to Angus Angling. I've been to Glasgow Angling Centre, and I think that's about it. The other fishing shops I used to frequent were in Edinburgh, and they've all closed, sadly. Gary, I am looking forward to fishing Rutland and Grapham water this year. Is late summer too early? Fall a good time? End of August to mid-September. Flies suggestions would be appreciated if possible. Gary, I'll message you on Facebook about that. Usually September, the start of September is a good time at Rutland, but this year certainly the heat waves we had was terrible, and it did knock the fishing back slightly, but it is weather dependent. It's like any fishing really, but hopefully, yeah, you'll be able to have a good time, and certainly I'll make an effort to get up there and have a day out with you. Gary again, yes, southern Alberta and at the Hat and Suffield can get very windy and very cold. Yeah, it's changed a lot, I believe. Some of my friends have been in years gone by, and it's changed. When I was there was a post office and about 2 houses and 4 strip clubs, but I believe it's a lot more civilised nowadays. Rob Green, as a teenager my floating line was cheap, as it's all I could afford, was like a midge tip. A lot of people used to swear by the old floating lines that had just given up the ghost and they started to dip, and I think that's why midge tips became a thing, because people were we're finding that their failing floaters were really working well. My fly, I think people in the UK and USA have a different way to handle a caught fish when in the landing net than we do. I see people putting their hands inside the net to remove the hook. Yeah, my fly, I don't see any other way of doing it, if I'm honest. I mean, a lot of the times, if you're fishing barbless hooks, they simply fall out the fish's mouth and they end up in the net. You take them out and you can release the fish. But yeah, that's I don't know how you would do it. Real 6 foot midge tip. Yeah, it's a great line, Heather. You'll not go far wrong with that. Have you tried the F&F midge tip or other lines? I've tried the airflow ones, which I really like, and the real ones. They're the only two manufacturers I've tried in regards to midge tips, Mick. My fly, we grab the fish from the outside of the landing net, then the net gives great grip on the fish and less slime on your hands. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see how that works. I think a lot of river anglers do it like that, but certainly from the boat and lock style, that's how we do it, you know. Jordan Scott, they were good comps you fished. Some great anglers, superb catches. Are you fishing them again, mate? Which comps are you referring to, Jordan? I fished quite a few. I love the grayling competitions. Are fantastic. They're really good. They're dead friendly. It's a wee bit different to the lock style, which are friendly, but there's definitely a competition edge to the lock style fishing, especially the big ones like the angling water. I certainly noticed a difference. I hadn't fished it in many years, and I had a chance to fish with a team last year, and I really enjoyed it. I love fishing with teams. It's great. It's different kind of fishing. I think you fish harder because you're fishing with teammates and you don't want to let them down, but there's definitely an edge to that competition. The AMFCs that I fish, less so. It's more a friendly, developing kind of league, and it's good. The Army Championships and stuff I just do for fun nowadays. But the grayling comps, and sadly I've not been to the Hanak for a number of years now, and there's a few reasons behind that, not least I can barely walk, and certainly the Welsh Dee, wading wise, is an absolute treacherous river, and my knee wouldn't last 5 minutes there currently, so I've not been able to do that one. But on the River Test, the wading's easy, the walking's easy, and I'm still able to do that. And the other bit of grayling fishing I do on the Avon is fairly straightforward stuff, so I can get away with that. So let's see. What's your favourite wet fly, Lindsay? Personally would say Kate McLaren, or only this year after watching one of your videos, a muskins. So a muskins is a nymph, really. It's not what I would class as a wet fly. If I was talking about wet flies, I would say my favourite, and it's a traditional one, is a silver invicta. It's a brilliant fly, especially if the fish are on pin fry. The silver invicta will score really well. Brilliant fly in September, actually. Gary, if you're still on, silver invictas, make sure you've got a few of them. Make sure. So Adam Hollins, I have all of the Airflow DI lines, but none of the Sweep DI lines. Now I've been told I'm missing out, but my question is, to what advantage would it make to my fishing from normal DI lines? So Adam, that's a great question. So what's the difference? So I'm assuming, well, maybe not. So just let me explain. So a normal DI line, a 6 Sense Airflow DI line, will sink pretty much uniformly down through the water column to where it needs to go. With a sweep line, they have, and we'll talk about the DI5 for example. So it has a DI5 belly, and then the tip is a fast glass, if you like, but it's all one manufactured line, so what you get is that belly effect. And now when you're fishing, I don't see much advantage if you're only fishing from the bank, but if you're fishing from a boat, that line's sweeping down through the water column, so you're covering lots and lots of different depths. And when you bring the line up and you're finishing your retrieve, what you're getting is when you bring it up to hang the rod, so you're lifting your rod up to hang your flies, that belly's whipping up and round, and you're just getting an amazing presentation of your flies at the end. I've got all the sweep lines. I wouldn't be without them actually. They're superb. Okay, my fly. Fergal Sharky should get a knighthood, services to the environment and fishing. Yep, he does a lot of work, tireless actually, but that's one of the things you can do when you're loaded. No, he does a great job, and a knighthood wouldn't be out of place, I don't think. Mike Shaw, it is frustrating when health issues impedes fishing. The risk of one slip or aggravation of a current issue can ruin the rest of the year, if not longer. Well, as I said, Mick, I'm a couple of years in. I went up to a friend's river up on the Upper Wye, and I really struggled to get round, and luckily he's a good strong lad, and he helped me across a couple of rivers. And even with that, I still went swimming a couple of times because my knee just wasn't up to the job, and that kind of taught me I need to draw back slightly from that style of fishing. Luckily, I've still got other interests, stillwater bank fishing and boat fishing. I can still do a little bit of river fishing, and I'm going to do what I can. Things have moved along with the knee. Hopefully I've got an orthopaedic consultancy coming up, and they'll decide whether they're going to use surgery or they're going to inject it, or hopefully they're going to fix it in some regard, so we'll see. So Heather, when's the first round of the Kit Kat Cup? So I think it's late May, and it's going to be on one of the lochs in Orkney. I'm not quite sure. Jock's organising it, he's probably fixing it so that the boatman's all on his side. I'll have no chance, will I? I'll never have a chance actually. It's very difficult to film the videos and try and compete with one of the best loch style anglers in Scotland. It's almost an impossible thing to do, but I do enjoy it, and I don't really care about losing. So that's the thing with the Kit Kat Cup. Was the grayling ones, oh Jordan, sorry. Was the grayling ones, sorry, forgot the amount of comps you fished last year, thanks. No worries Jordan. My fly. I thought your recommendation to the first question was on the money. Cat's whisker. Close second for me would be the legendary Mickey Finn. I've never heard of that fly, my fly. I'll need to look that one up. Mickey Finn. Yeah, cat's whiskers, it's a good... I learned on a beady-eyed cat actually. That was the first fly I learned to tie and learned to fish, and once I'd done that I started moving on. It's better to master one thing than try and shotgun it and get all the different flies, all the different fly lines, and try and do it that way. It's that you'll spend an awful lot of money and probably just get frustrated with yourself, to be honest. Marajin, nice. Live still waiting for you for some marble trout fishing in Italy. Get yourself over here. I love Italy. I think it's an amazing country. Sadly, the only time I've ever been was with my wife, and I didn't do any fishing. We did the tourist thing. So we went to Pisa and Florence, and what a time we had. It was absolutely amazing. The people were just on the ball, and the food, superb. Yeah, I'll definitely be coming back to Italy. Don't you be worrying about that. I'll make my way over there for sure. The only thing colder than Canada in winter is the stare from a disgruntled RSM. Oh, I don't know about that. It's a bit cold in Canada. Rob Green, Silver Invicta, amazing flea. Fished at Pittsford a lot. as a teenager, and the Invicta was always my top dropper. Sometimes pearly body if the silver was not getting taken. Yep, I like both, but I prefer the silver if I was pressed. Barry Gardner. Lindsay, lots of fly fishing shops closing down. Fishing lines now getting more expensive. Reel lines, but in my opinion, for wet you get good. You know. But my opinion, you for wet get, you know. Sorry, Barry. I think you've mistyped that. I can't quite read it. But what I think you're saying is there is a lot of tackle shops closing down, and it's really sad. The local shops. We used to have a great wee shop in Aldershot actually. It was a gun shop, but it had a lot of fly fishing stuff in it as well. That once the guy retired, that just shut down as well. And I think a lot of people, people all over. Not so much in the south, because we still have the big shops like Sportsfish, and if you want to take the trip into London you've got Farlow's, but you better remortgage your house is what I would suggest. It's a shame. I hope Airflow bring back the tip based sinking lines such as the DI3 and the DI5. Oh, the competitor lines they were called, Mick. I think I've still got some of them somewhere, but I never really used them much. I know some of the guys, certainly in the army team, were all over them competitor lines, really liked them. Jamie Thomas springs to mind. One of his favourite lines was the 5-7 competitor. Getting up, Lindsay, it's half a day and you're done. It's not painful and your knee will not lock up anymore. Increases arthritis risk, but that's easier to manage. Well, Rob, I just want the pain to go. It's I do quite a lot of walking with my dog, and even that's starting to be impacted by the pain in my knee. And I notice that I'm doing less and less distance than I used to do, and it's telling on my gut. So I would really like to get it fixed and get back being active again. I gave up, so 2 years ago when this first happened, I packed up squash. So I used to play quite a lot of squash, and I had to pack that up, which was quite sad, because it would get me off my arse and get me running around, get me a bit out of breath. But you know, old age, it comes to us all. Rob, the mice got into my fishing box in the garage and chomped through 3 of my tips. 3 sinking lines. Costly start. Ooh, that is a costly start, mate, because fly lines now, I can't believe that the price of fly lines, it's absolutely ridiculous. You'll not be replacing all them at once, Jordan, I don't think. Logan Walton. Lure-wise, Yellow Dancer and Ally McCoist are blank sailors. I've never heard that. I've got a few Ally McCoist now. I didn't even know what that was till a couple of years ago, and somebody said to me, "Oh, can you tie an Ally McCoist?" And I said, "Oh well, I'll find out what it is and give it a go." And it's pretty much a blob with a tail, and I thought, this will not be very good. And you know what? There's the problem. Right away, I thought this will not be very good, and I think no confidence, and that's what happens. If you've not got confidence in a fly, you're not going to catch anything, are you? My fly. Lady fly fisher. I still love it that the UK salmon record is over 100 years old and held by a woman. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one to beat nowadays. I think salmon in this country, they're like unicorns. They're just so few and far between. And I don't know if there's any salmon anglers on this evening, but it's definitely something that, yeah, I worry about salmon fishing in this country. There's various reasons for it, not least the seal populations in some of the big bays that are feeding our salmon rivers, or where the salmon are coming in. They're just getting wiped out. Dolphins, seals, they're living the life on the back of the salmon. We're being predated by cormorants that are not allowed to be controlled properly. yeah, I think it's only going to go one way, salmon fishing, sadly. You're going to have to go abroad. Rob. Stroophof Hotel recommendation for fishing in Italy, north of Merano. Marble trout territory. I never caught a marble trout there, but saw a couple. Yeah, that's yeah. Will my wife like it, Rob? That's the key. Will my wife like it? My fly is the German brand of tippet material Stroft, very popular. It's mono, but outrageously good for dry fly. I'm a fluoro for nymph and wet fly fishing now. What I like about Stroft, my fly, is it's very fine. And for the diameter, you can get it down to 0.06, and for the diameter it's very strong. Now, when I was in Bosnia, the thickest tippet I used was 0.08 because the fish are highly pressured and tippet shy, so I think it's really good. I've got several reels of it in various diameters, but for my general fishing I tend to use the Hanak fluorocarbon. I really like it. It's bulletproof. I use it in 1.0, and if I'm fishing for bigger fish, maybe 0.11, 1.2. But yeah. Mick Shaw, Lindsay, this year get over overall win on the KitKat Cup to bring the rematch to our Midlands lakes such as Rutland and Gratham. Mick, it's I don't think that's going to happen, but you never know. You know, we're in Orkney, but while I'm doing the filming, Jock's doing the fishing mostly, and it's very difficult to keep up with him. And it's not about, you know, because we hold it in Scotland, that's my choice because I want to go to Scotland and fish. It's fantastic. I did discuss maybe coming back to the Midlands reservoirs, but I do an awful lot of fishing on there anyway with various AMFC and army competitions, so it's not something I want to just keep doing really. I think next year, I don't know what will happen. I've got an idea, but we'll just need to wait and see. I don't want to reveal too much now just in case I can't walk, for example. Gary Hank, do you recall the ghost lines? If I recall, they were a barred black and white fly line for buzzer fishing. I found them nice but difficult to see in some water. I do recall them, Gary. I don't think they were very good. I like the idea of the barren, but as a line, I don't think they were very good. I think what you were better doing was what I did with my real midge tip was I just put banded black from the yellow section to the clear section up, and I would watch that. But yeah. My fly Stroft is really popular in Germany. They make fluorocarbon FC1 and FC2. GTM is the go-to for tippet. I like the LS as well, and the ABR as its good abrasion resistance. Yep, Rob, I would agree with you. I made my own with a PVC paint of barred hot yellow and hot orange for the first 35 feet. Sight issue was resolved in most light conditions. It would be great to see a fly line manufactured with that colour scheme. Well, perhaps you should pitch your idea to Airflow and see if they can do it. I'm not sure how much work or extra machinery would be needed to do something like that. Logan Walton, I live right next to the Spey and some of the prices to fish are insane. Better going further along the coast to the Findhorn. Yep, I've been on the Spey a couple of times. My friend Jock Ryan used to be the gilly on the Killarmoney stretch, and when I was up on holiday when the kids were wee, he would always have me along for a day, but I wasn't long trying to fish for salmon. I ended up going to the car, getting my trout kit and having a much better time, to be perfectly honest. That's salmon fishing, it's like casting practice really. Rob, oh she'll love it, I promise. My wife picked the hotel. Amazing cuisine and wines. You had her won over at amazing cuisines and wines. Starting to get salmon running the Trent and Don in Sheffield. albeit Dove and Derbyshire. Yeah, well, there might be hope yet. Jordan, that was the worst salmon season on record for my small spate river. Over rivers in Ayrshire picked up, worrying times, and the mice traps are set. Good stuff. Same with the sea. Trout predation is destroying stocks just as bad as poaching and environmental factors. Yep, cormorants. Last year I was on Rutland and I couldn't believe the number of cormorants that were on the water. It was unbelievable, and it did remind me of pictures I used to see of Loch Leven prior to it having to close down because they just couldn't sustain a trout fishery with the number of cormorants. But what I would say the difference between Loch Leven and Rutland is Leven didn't really have the depth, so there was nowhere for the fish to go and hide. Unlike Rutland, they've got some quite deep places that the fish can hide. On Leven they were just, it was like a feeding bucket for the cormorants. A great shame. But now, to be fair, it's probably one of the best wild brown trout fisheries in the country. So, silver linings, I suppose, silver linings. Right, folks, I'm going to read down to the last one and then I think we will call it a day. I'm really sorry about the glitchiness of the stream tonight. It's been a bit of a pain. Okay. Red River. Brian Donald, Red River do a light green and black floating line. There you go, Gary. I like the Stroft. Gary Hank. I like the Stroft for river fishing, but for lakes I moved into Seagar Red Label. I have found no issues with Red Label over the last 10 plus years. It is a little stiffer fluorocarbon. Probably helps with if you're at sea and you get a bit of wind. It'll probably help with the wind knot situation. Well, I'm hoping I'm asking them. James has said more questions than Prime Minister's question time. Yeah, they seem to be rattling in, but I do need to be getting off. I've been on for an hour and 10 minutes now. I was hoping to do a bit of fly tying, as I said, but with having to flip between the two platforms to read the chat, it's not really going to happen. Where are we now? Has anyone ever had issues clinching knots with fluorocarbon, like the line grabbing itself before the knot reaches the hook eye? You've got to really damp down your knots, so I always cover mine in saliva before I clinch them up my fly. That's a trait of fluorocarbon, and if you don't wet that knot, what happens is when you're pulling it tight, it creates heat, friction, and that makes the fluorocarbon weaker. Talking on the flies, black and gold Huey. Oh yeah, the Huey's a great fly, Jordan, I love it. With orange eyes, okay. Orkney Peach Head Hackles is my top early season pattern. Right, so I've not tried that, but I will be. In Denmark have built an amazing sea trout fishery by river restoration. Yeah, I think there's certainly some countries are doing a lot better than us, is what I would say, no doubt about it. Right. George Maltby fished the Findhorn at Drenachen 3 seasons ago. Perfect water, perfect overhead weather, 3 experienced rods, 2 fish for the week. Salmon fishing in Scotland is on its knees. And George, I can't argue. I think you're absolutely right. Although I don't salmon fish myself, I certainly have several friends that do a bit of salmon fishing, and they've said exactly what you've said pretty much. You know, they go up a group of guys, and if they get 1 or 2 fish, that's what they're expecting now. It's not it's been a tough year. This is what it is now. That's what we get. Nigel, I'll see you at the BFFI on the Saturday, unless England's playing Scotland in the Six Nations, and then I won't see you at the BFFI on the Saturday. or if I do, I'll be there until the rugby starts, and then I'll be off. Right, I'm gonna leave it there. Last one from Michael. Lindsay, when you fish with jock kettles, no matter the location, the mutual respect and interaction reminds me of the old days with Ronnie Christie. I've not spoke to Ronnie in ages, actually. I do hope he's okay. He's a granddad now, Mick, unless if you didn't know. So he's got his hands full of baby. Right. Thanks very much, guys. It's been grand. I'm sorry it wasn't a wee bit more entertaining than me just reading the comments and trying to make this work. But it's been hard going. I've just still not quite got this streaming right. Hopefully once Sky's been tomorrow and we get the fibre installed, I'll be able to stream at a much better quality and rate, and the streams will be a lot better. I'm definitely going to do more of them. They're great fun. I just need to come up with a better system in doing the comments, because currently it's really difficult to read the comments and do other things round and about. But thanks again for watching, and you know the score. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up, and if you've been on and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Thanks very much. I'm going to call it a day. Cheers guys, and good night.